Y'all, this episode was up and down for me. More ups than downs. But I know y'all about to fight me about what I have to say. Justice for Brit. Let's get into it.
Get busy in here, get busy in here. Yeah, my squad run deep. Yeah, we really in here. I swear whatever you want, you can get it in here. Comedy or the drama, it's a mixture in here. But you love it in here. Yeah, you love it in here. Got reviews up in here. We got stories in here. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell. Oh yeah, 3 clicks like the shoes on Dorothy in here.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BusyBlu, and I am Black with another Real Housewives of Atlanta recap, rant, and review. Make sure that you like, you comment, and you subscribe to the BusyBlu channel. It takes nothing. You know what? Before the video starts, do it right now. Some of y'all not gonna, because I said this is for Brit, y'all gonna be haters, but do it right now. That also being said, make sure that you watch us tonight on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. I am going to be hosting, the host with the most. So make sure that you follow us and that you are tuned in tonight. I think it's going to be a key. So we'll see. I know a lot of people didn't like this episode or felt some type of way about this episode. I feel like I have a sty in my eye. What's this about? Where's the anti-aging cream? But we're gonna see how this conversation goes. We also will have a special guest coming to tonight's panel, and that special guest is gonna be one of my close and fun friends, House of Aaron. So I'm really excited about him coming tonight. Y'all know I appreciate him. I'm really hating this dye. I wonder what I do to get rid of it. Is this what you could put cucumbers on? Anyway, so make sure that you visit us tonight and join us tonight. That being said, let's get into this episode. If we're gonna rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this tonight's episode a 7.5. It really just moved the story along, but there were some parts that I'm like, get him, hit him again for me, hit him again for me. And I felt like they gave a little bit more validity to some of the stuff that Brit was saying and showing. But y'all haters are just gonna keep hating. Okay, so let's get into the show. So at first, oh yeah, and you all put your ratings in the chat. So let's start off with they all wake up in Grenada and they're feeling rejuvenated, excited to be there. They're talking about what happened last night. Apparently, Brit threw up. She's a lightweight. She said she had to take off her clothes. Y'all heard when she was talking to her husband, she said anything to protect the fit. It sounds like you got to return it, girl. I got to return this after this trip. She said, I always want to make fun of her nose, but you know, people say I'd sound just like Brit. I do. I always have like a post nasal drip that happens during this season, so maybe I do sound like her. But she was saying that she got to protect the clothes. She had to take her clothes off. She had to protect the clothes. Porsha was saying that her and Drew kind of played with each other, so that felt a little good. So they're probably getting on a better foot. And Shamea and Kelly was like, look, this after what happened yesterday, this trip seemed like it's going to be going so well. So if you all don't like each other, it's something about you. Okay. If you can't get over what your feelings are, your frustrations are, or whatever, it's giving you're the problem. After that, we see Angela. Charles, I've been going up and down on the internet trying to defend you, Charles. It's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. Because at first, one, your marriage is your marriage. And sometimes your partner knows you more than anyone else. And you just got to let that go. Sometimes you think you know the person, you don't. A quick story. I love my father-in-law, right? I'm actually his only son. And my partner's family will always talk about, but you ain't seen him at a restaurant, though. And I finally got a chance to see him at a restaurant, and I realized, so you think you know a person, but sometimes you don't know a person, okay? So maybe Angela just sees a sweet, soft, cuddly side that we just all don't see. And I've been utilizing that because my partner is an extreme introvert. So I look at Chaz as an extreme introvert. Like, girl, I'm not doing all that talking. I don't want to be on the phone. I'll do anything but talk to you. Like, I'll do anything but communicate with you. It takes too many words, it's too much energy, or whatever. And I hate to say it, but sometimes my partner can be like that, or used to be. I think he's livened up a lot more now that we're together, or we've been together for a long time. But in the beginning, it was just like, I would do anything but talk to you. Like, I love you, but what are we talking about? And you bring all this energy in my room, and then I gotta stop what I'm doing, and I gotta stop what I'm thinking about, and it is just too much. And I'm trying to focus on this, and you want me to focus on this random stuff. Like, I get it. But Toss, this is getting out of control. And it's starting to feel like you don't really love her. Okay. So she calls her husband. He not answering the phone, or or whatever. If I'm being fair though, I go on a lot of company trips. You couldn't pay Tavon, Tater Bay to call me. You couldn't pay him to call me and just say, hey, I was missing you, checking in on you, seeing how you doing. Tater Bay is not when there is no record of any trip that I've been on, and Tater Bay is like, hey, I was just calling you to see how you was doing, how's the check-in process, what's going on at all. So I get like not talking to someone because they finally feel like they got the house to themselves. They can, play their game, read their book, watch sports, cook, whatever. But it's around our anniversary, so you should be a little bit more lovey-dovey. You should be a little bit more open. You should be a little bit more giving. So she was like, I talked to him yesterday, but he was cooking for our daughter. So I feel two ways about this. The first way is this. I am not a person. Well, one, I don't like to be on the phone, or like hold a phone to my face. I'm allergic to nickel, and I guess at some point in time they were making phones with nickel in them, and then my ear will always break out. So then I just stopped wanting to. You have the phone with my ear. It gets hot, then all the moisture. Then I start to get allergic. I start to break out. So I like a speakerphone or a FaceTime. I love a FaceTime so you can see my reactions. Because sometimes I don't need to speak. Sometimes I just need to do. So I'm just now trying to get into the group because my mom and my sister, they used to be on the phone, and the phone used to just be on the table, and they were living life. And I was thinking, is that my sister on the phone? She was like, yeah, we talking. They not saying nothing to each other. But some people need that. So Charles, if you saying you cooking, girl, put the phone up so that we can see it and then just cook. I'm not getting in the way. I don't know, Charles, you're not making it look good. What y'all think? Y'all get what I'm saying? And then here's Angela. We fall in love with each other more and more every day. Are we sure? Are we sure? Moving up from there, they're all getting ready for the day. I love the Caribbean, so I like ackee and saltfish. Shout out to the ackee and saltfish girls. Y'all let me know if y'all know what ackee and saltfish is, if you've had it before. It looked like the cook was cooking with saltfish, or at least he said that he was. So the food looked good in the morning. Kelly comes out. She got her breast all out and her boobs all out and her titties all out. So Phaedra was like, do you want help covering those things up, girl? I got some pasties in there. Brit, she's also talking about what happened last night. Apparently, we realized that she's not a shot girly girl. She just can't take shots, and that's why she ended up throwing up yesterday, but not wanting to get her dress ruined because she got to return it, like Sheree does. Cynthia said, "Girl, you look nice. I heard you was throwing up and everything." And she was like, well, I just, she said, but Cynthia said, it feels like you shouldn't drink, girl. You should not be drinking. And Brit was like, no, it's not all that. I just don't take shots. And Phaedra said, forget all of that. This girl booze her nipples was popping in and out because apparently Brit doesn't sleep with any clothes on. So I guess Phaedra been seeing her cooch or everything about her. So who knows? Then Shamea comes down. She has another outfit. She says she put enough in her bag to have a couple of outfits for days. The only thing she doesn't have are underwear, but she says she ain't wearing no underwear, so it doesn't matter. After that, they're talking about what they're doing. We got some people going to a waterfall. The other person is going to be cooking with Kelly. Phaedra is tired of Kelly and her noises and how loud she is, which is crazy because Phaedra keeps saying, you a small little gnome Tinkerbell, but you loud. How you gonna sit here and talk all this crap about me and then say I'm loud? God, this is unfair. So she picks on Kelly just a little bit more. Kelly's taking it in stride, girl. She even started whispering her confession notes. So today, we're going to go to a cooking class. She said, no, I'm not doing that, girl. Where that baby though? What about that baby though? Okay. They asked if everyone felt heard or everything last night. Did the crystal work? And Brit said no, she didn't feel like the crystal work. She says she feels like she's having a trouble being heard. Shamea told her that she wasn't having trouble being heard. Girl, you started bringing up stuff that we wasn't talking about. Why are we bringing up Apollo and Phaedra and all this stuff? Nobody care about any of that stuff that was going on. We sitting here trying to figure out what was going on with Black. Y'all heard what Drew was like. Now, girl, I was with you until you brought it up. I was with you until you brought up the Black stuff, girl. My head was shaking. Yes, in agreement until you brought up the Black stuff. Drew says she is so tired of everybody trying to be in her business. Why everybody trying to figure out what I got going on? Black, green, yellow, purple, whatever. Leave it alone. What we need to be trying to highlight is what is this Brit and Shamea situation and why is that going on? I'm going to say this, and I know you're about to be upset with me in the comments. For some reason, and I don't know what it is, Brit has a need to be wanted, heard, and validated. And I don't know where it comes from. We didn't get a chance to learn a lot about her life. But it seems as if she feels undervalued, seen, and heard. And that's really sad. Especially because the way that she expresses it is by lashing out at people who are not hearing or validating or listening to her or seeing her. And she just has this desperate need to be the center of attention. Not the center of attention. This desperate need to be validated, seen, and heard. Because I don't think she wants to be the center of attention. I think if anybody was in a group with her and they were like, I agree with Brit, she would feel so good. And like that would be it for the end of the day for her. No, I understand where Brit's coming from. I understand what she's saying. She just needs somebody's validation. And we all know people like that. And on shows like this, that doesn't work. Especially because of the desperation she has around it. That doesn't work because this show truly centers around and focuses on people who are slightly narcissistic, type A personalities. They feel something about themselves, their worth, their value, who they are. So having a gnat around who's asking for validation is never going to be helpful in a group like this. And that's kind of why I feel like she's failing. Because everybody else is kind of grounded in their narcissism. Because all of these girls are narcissistic. You cannot be on a show like this and not feel like I'm not beat. Like you just can't. And you I'm sure you're self-aware of it enough to know that you feel like you are the center of attention. Now, in a group of girls who are the center of attention, you probably feel like you can share the attention with the group of the girls, but you're probably the better one, or no, the one who knows more. Maybe that's why Kelly yells more, because she's so small, she's so short, she knows she's that girl. People got to notice her, so she yells. Anyway, I think that starts to bleed itself into the rest of the timelines that or the conversation that we see throughout this episode. So we go down, everybody gets in their cars, we're going to the separate trips. We start with the donation debacle. I am so over this conversation. I'm sorry, I just am. And maybe it's because I'm poor. The lady gave. Like, what and why are we talking about this? So they said, well, why did Brit come for Shamea? And Shamea was like, I don't know. I just feel like she's always doing too much. And even when she was talking about the shot thing, like it was just giving a lot, girl. It's just giving too much. She was like, but then you come in here and you only donate 3 paper towels. Yo, y'all heard what Phaedra was about. 3 paper towels? Girl, if you don't think I'm gonna start saying 3 paper towels, you're out of your mind. So she's like, yeah. So then I had a conversation with her and I told her it wasn't enough. And then she gave a donation of 250. Why are we counting everybody's? If we're going to do this, count everybody's. And I feel like it's unfair. Yes, it did look like Britt grabbed a couple of things from the garage and put it in the box. Even that box was from the garage. But y'all remember at Kelly's party where we knew what people bought or whatever? Why y'all not going down the line of what everybody gave and what the price was? Because if she talked to Shamea after, she gave 250. She also gave 2 paper towels. She gave a couple of tissues, a little bit of wet wipes or whatever. That's like $312. Why we not counting up everybody else's donation? Because we got Drew here, and they're like, oh, she came with all those cases of water, and then she came with and then her assistants came with another big case of water. Let me see how much a case of water costs. Girl, let me share this with y'all. Because I'm getting frustrated about the whole situation. I just looked up a Costco case of water. Girl, 10. If you got 10 of those, what is that? $80, 90 maybe? And she like, oh, well, Drew came with a case of waters, and then she came back for another case of waters. What is that? That's $200 too. Yeah, because oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even showing the screen. That's another 2 cases of water. I mean, that's another $100. She didn't give anything more than what Brit did. You guys see what I'm saying here? Let me make this sure this is full screen. But y'all sitting here trying to clown this lady. What's a Kirkland case of water? Okay, so child, if you get this much, it is $400. I don't know if she did all of that, but it didn't look like she brought in a crate. It didn't look like she brought in a crate. So stop trying to act like, oh, well, Drew came through because she brought all these cases of water, and her other team brought all those cases of water. Girl, we just counted up what we can see. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 cases of water. Girl, it seems like Brit gave on par. But I'll let it go because y'all so focused on misunderstanding her and feeling like she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. But with the cases of water that I saw from Drew's truck, it looked like she gave something comparable to that. Anyway, so now they're getting down and they talk about you shouldn't donate less than $1,000. And Kelly, well, how does her best friend feel? Kelly feels the same way as me. Okay, girl, whatever. So Phaedra says, I'm just trying to figure out who everyone is. Like, who's Drewzilla? I don't know everybody like that. And Porsha says, look, I ain't gonna talk about her because it seems like we kind of made up. Porsha said that Drew should apologize to Shamea though, because it seems as if she's calling you a lapdog and talking negatively about you to try to demise you. They're gonna besmirchify you. They're gonna satirize your name. I want to know where that video is. If I can find out, I'll put it in here. I'm sure I can't. But she said they're gonna belift you. They're gonna satirize your name. They're gonna besmirch you. Okay, and that's what Porsha was saying to Shamea. They're gonna belift you. They're gonna satirize your name. They're gonna besmirch you. And the other card, Drew was like, I want to bond with Phaedra because it seems like I don't know who she is, but I want to get to know her a little bit more. Then they talk about Angela, and Phaedra says, girl, I've been knowing Charles for a long time. I didn't even know that man was married. Yeah, he's a good time. He's about to funny, but she did say that she hadn't seen him in about 10 years. So still trying to figure out, she doesn't know who he is now, but she doesn't know him to be married. We move from there. I'm gonna break this down into groups because they go into separate sections. So let's start with group one. They go to the Clark's Court Rum House. It's a plantation that is owned by the family. A hurricane came through, but they still were able to get it done. And they're gonna be cooking with Kelly. So figuring out, or I guess Kelly's there, but the people are gonna be cooking. Kelly says that, as a chef, which is bothering me. Didn't her own daughter say she don't know how to cook? Unless I'm mishearing something in one of the episodes. I thought Kelly's daughter said that she don't know how to cook. But anyway, Kelly said as a chef, she's always want to explore new cultures and cuisines because it helps her be a better chef. So then they're talking about cooking the food. I think it was called oildum, I guess. Oildum is what I wrote down. So they're putting in bread, fruit, a little bit of spice, some chicken, some pork, some dumplings, and it just all goes together. Is it just me, or did they not? What in the cocaine is being made in that house? Why can't we go inside the house? Anyway, so they all sit down. I felt bad because we know that Brit has dietary restrictions. Why did we not create anything else for her? So this is another thing I have a problem with. People in this lawsuit that Brit is going to get, it seems like she did everything that she was supposed to do in her contract, and y'all still mad. Girl, I showed up. I couldn't even eat half the time. Y'all put my photos out on the internet. Y'all made me film when I was going through depression. Y'all had me bring my mama. Girl, I'm doing everything. And then some of these times we go, I can't even eat. But Brit's the problem. Okay, Is Brit the problem? So they had no food for her. Anyway, she says she hasn't eaten beef or pork or whatever in years. Which is cool because Kelly was like, look, girl, I have it for you. It's an explosion of flavors in your mouth. We got this. And I want y'all to remember this because we're going to go to another clip where someone felt like it was weird that she couldn't eat or she didn't want to say anything, which people irritate me. So then they ask, how are things going? And Brit says she feels like this is the first time she's finally feeling accepted by the group. She was nervous at first, but her and Angela are moving forward. And Angela also feels like they're turning a new leaf. She said, I don't have to call her a whore anymore. And she said her and Drew are also getting better. And Kelly said, well, girl, what about Drew? Drew, do you know this person? And she holds up a black napkin. And Drew said, what's being said? I don't understand. They said that you bumping and grinding with Black. She said, Black is just a business partner. He's somebody I'm doing music with. It's not that serious. I want to date, but I'm going through a divorce. But trust me, if I was dating someone, y'all all would know it. I'll be screaming it from the mountaintops. It's not that serious. Then we get to the other group. It's Porsha, Phaedra, Cynthia, and Shamea. And they just go to see waterfalls. Why? Phaedra talk about something she don't like monkeys because they're racist. Anyway, so then they go to the waterfall. It looked really pretty. They all take some really good photos. The only person who was uncomfortable was Shamea. Shamea said that she doesn't feel like she's 2-piece ready. She's only 1-piece ready, so she did feel a little awkward. Then they all go to eat. Phaedra said that she thought that Brit bringing up Phaedra and Apollo was just a little weird, Porsha says, yeah, but I also hear that Brit doesn't seem like she feels supported or heard. But you didn't invite me to your house, and Brit said the same thing. And then Porsha said, well, that's tit for tat. Girl, okay. The support could be, hey, I know you're going through a rough time. You want to go out. You want to go do something, da-da-da. Nobody has given her that grace. At least we're not seeing it on camera. So for Porsha to be like, well, she's the one whining about nobody supporting her or hearing her, but she's not inviting us to her house. What is it? Am I looking at friendships wrong? Because if my friend is like, I'm feeling like I'm not heard, I'm not supported, nobody's respecting me, I would then go out or reach out and touch, okay, and say, you know what, girl, let's go out and do dinner. You want to come on my house? Listen, like, I don't want you to feel like you're not being heard or listened to or whatever. Girl, you want to go do something? Girl, you want to go party? But you're putting the onus on the person who's feeling like they're not getting anything from the group. Y'all weird. Y'all weird. Because then you can say, if y'all were doing the best thing, you could say, girl, we've been inviting you to stuff, you don't come. We've been asking you to do things, you don't come. So how are you saying you don't feel like you're listening to her to? We've been trying to listen to you and hear you and doing things with you, but you're not inviting us. No, y'all put the onus on Brit and y'all say, girl, the only reason you're not being heard is because you're not inviting us to your house. What do I need to do that? So they're not cultivating real relationships with Brit because Brit isn't forcing herself on them. Because if she was doing that, I know the viewers enough by this time. Y'all be calling her weird. She's so desperate. She keeps inviting people over. All she wants to do is go. Y'all would just call her weird. Anyway, after that, they start to make their way back home. But do y'all get what I'm saying with that? Y'all probably won't. Put it in the comments. But it's just frustrating me. How you put the onus on the person who is feeling left out? Anyway, now they all pack up their stuff because they got to go meet the prime minister. Porsha and Shamea, they get back their friendship together. At least that's what Shamea says. See, and this is what y'all want Brit to look like. That's what y'all want Brit to look like. Okay? Oh, I'm so happy I got my friend back. I got my friend back. I'm so excited. Now we're singing about booty holes in the van back. I'm so happy. Shamea, I don't know. Shamea, you annoyed me this episode. So then we get to dinner. Everybody's getting ready. They all look good. Angela tries to call Charles again. She gets on the phone with him. Hey, you don't miss me? He's like, okay. This is the first anniversary we're not together. Okay. Look over there. Okay. He didn't care about anything that she was saying. And Angela said, well, I think he's only mad because he can't get any of the kitty cat. Because normally on our anniversary, I give him the kitty cat, but he can't get the kitty cat, the Hello Kitty, during this time. And that's why he's really upset. Angela, you must be tired of holding Charles on your back. This has to be annoying and irritating. Okay. So then after that, it's time for dinner. Oh, wait, no. So after that, everybody comes in and they start talking. And then they said, do you want to have shots before you leave? And Shamea said, well, only if people aren't going to feel like I'm sitting here and I'm pressuring them to take shots. I'll take shots, and the people don't feel like I'm pressuring them. Let me tell you something real quick. And I was listening to somebody's video, and I'm not going to say who it was, but they're going to know once we get on the panel today. It's okay for me to say, hey, I feel like you're pushing too much alcohol. I just don't do it, and that's not my thing. So I'm gonna hold off because I feel like you're pushing it too much, and it's giving peer pressure, girl. Like, calm down. I don't want to take as many shots. It's fine, but just like I don't shots. I don't want that. So then the girl starts saying, who feels pressured? And Britt said, I feel pressure. I just feel like I mean, I don't do shots. It's not that serious. I just don't do shots like that. And everybody keeps doing shots. Here is Shamea again. Whoever's doing shots, I don't want people to feel like I'm pressuring them, girl. The pressure shouldn't be here, girl. Let's not pressure the girls. We know exactly what you're doing. And my problem is right now, why when Britt sets a boundary, Shamea gets the clown? Girl, the only thing I said is that I don't do a lot of shots. I feel like it's cheap. I feel like it's fangirly or whatever it is, high schooly, whatever it is. I don't want a shot. Stop asking me for shots. I feel like you're pressuring us in the shots. Every second we are around each other is shot o'clock. I don't want a dildo up my today. Shout out to Nene. I don't want a shot. And now I set that boundary. And I was listening to a review, and the reviewer was saying, oh my God, why don't you know your limits? That's what I said. I told her the only reason she's able to mock me is because I told her that I'm feeling pressured. I do not want to take shots regularly. Please stop offering them to me. And now here she goes. Oh, nobody can take a shot. I know. Oh, don't pressure her, girl. Don't pressure her, girl. And now I'm hearing reviewers being like, you doing too much saying you don't want to take shots if you know you don't want to drink. Girl, Brit, it's almost like Brit can't do anything. Y'all don't have to like the girl, but she didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, it's time for dinner. So they all sit down to dinner and they talk about the cooking event and how, you know what, it was good to see the house that the people owned and what was going on with their business, and how they were affected by the hurricane. But to be honest, also, that's why it's so important to give and give back, and show up. And that's what I loved about it. And then everybody's agreeing, yeah, it's really good to give. And that's why I gave $1,000. And this is why we're supposed to do. And Shamea said, see, yeah, because that's the thing. If we're going to show up, we got to show up and show out. You know what I'm saying? You can't be coming up in here with Birkins and Rolls Royces and Bentleys and not really give what you need. And they're all saying, yeah, you're right. And then Brit caught the shade. I don't give a what y'all say. Shamea was being shady and Brit caught it. And she said, I feel like that was a little shade. Oh, you did? Yes, because you said Birkins and Rolls Royces. Girl, if you're gonna adhere Shamea, well, we all have Birkin. I have a Birkin. She has a Rolls Royce. She has a girl. No. Stand 10 toes down in it. You were trying to shade her. And she didn't say, I don't feel red. She caught it. Well, you're doing too much. And I don't think that I was trying to say you were shading her. And it's very clear from the conversations that you were having in the car about how much she gave. And she should have given more. And she didn't do enough. And if we step in now, we need to step out on 10 times down. And we need to give all of this stuff. Girl, you were shading her. And now Brit caught the shade and she clocked your ass. Oh, well, trust me, if I was shading you, you would know. And she did. And she did. And she did. Well, I'm just saying, well, what's the real issue that Brit is like, what? I don't understand. What is the real issue you got with me? Because you doing all shit. I thought we was cool, girl. And Kelly was like, well, you know what? Let's be clear. And this part I also don't like. Let's be clear. Shamea just doesn't know how to give. And that's really what her problem was. So we need to have some grace because not Kelly, Brit didn't know what to give and how much she's supposed to give. Girl, are you on my side or not? Now you're trying to sun me as well? Well, Brit didn't know how much to give, and we need to give grace and space to, because she didn't know what she was doing. It squeezed me, bitch. What are you talking about? What are you saying to me? And so now I'm frustrated with Kelly because I'm like, girl, where did that come from? So Brit's like, look, I'm just all over all of y'all. Okay. So Brit said, look, all of y'all doing all of this stuff. And the thing is, I asked you how much I was supposed to give. Do you not remember, Shamea? We talked to each other, and I said that, I didn't know how much to give. And Shamea, here goes Shamea. She needs to calm down. I'm not going to talk to her with this aggressive tone. So you start the shade. You get the girl riled up, and now you don't want to talk to her because she's riled up. You're raggedy. So now Brit's upset because now her back's against the wall, which is frustrating me because they got this girl riled up. Clearly got her riled up. And then y'all want to talk about, well, you need to calm down. Brit said, girl, I asked you in your face. Shamea says, you need to calm down. You're being very aggressive. All we're doing is talking about charity. Yeah, and you've been talking about charity the whole episode. If it was such a small thing, you would have been done with it. She said, all we're doing is talking about charity. I don't know why you're making it so hostile. She said, look, to be honest, we had already talked about this. After you gave the donation, I took her out to Houston's and I told her, girl, you didn't really show up like you should have for this donation, girl. You should have done a little bit more. That's my problem too. If y'all already talked about it, why are you bringing it up? And Shamea's like, oh, well, so she shouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked. And you know why I would be shocked? Because I thought me and you had already handled this. And now here you are bringing this shit up on camera. When I thought we squashed this in Atlanta at Houston's. Well, this is too much. You shouldn't be shocked because I brought it up. Brit is not like, look, at this point, I don't give a about what you got going on, what you're talking about, because now you're making me seem crazy, and now you're saying all this stuff. You're talking about behind my back. Does anybody want to say something to my face? And then here goes Porsha. Well, you said that you feel like nobody cares for you, but you say you don't feel supported and that you have, but I don't feel like you put in an effort to do anything to us. So Brit says, are you asking me a question or are you telling me something? Porsha says, girl, the friendly tone, girl, we're all having a conversation. Your best friend in that Fantasia wig just riled me up. Now I'm pissed because everybody got my back against the wall. Who else got something to say? And now you say you got something to say about me feeling supported or being unsupported or not being supported. And I'm asking you, are you telling me this or are you asking me if I haven't been? Well, you got to watch your tone. Why I got to watch my tone? I'm so over it. Britt said, look, you be acting like you don't know me. Now, I was on Porsha's side with this one. Girl, why would I invite you to my house or invite you out to anything? First of all, I didn't know if you were asking a question or you're telling anything. But then also, how are you sitting here trying to talk about whether or not I've been supported or not supported? You act like you don't know my name when we be texting each other. Porsha's thing was, girl, we was in the group chat. I said, who is who? And nobody answered who was who. So when you said, girl, such and such, whatever, I said, who is this? And Britt was taken aback. But again, I think she's also dealing with an underlying want of being validated, heard, and seen. So I'm sure that hurts her feelings immensely. Anyway, they're going back and forth now because Porsha's like, girl, I just didn't know who you were there on that time. Porsha, Brit. So then they start arguing, and now the prime minister comes in. I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't think that man was that fine. I mean, he was cute, but the way that it was like, oh, the prime minister. I guess. He sits down, he have a conversation, he talk with him. Was it just me or he couldn't remember the age of his other child? Because they said, oh, you have children? He said, yes. How many? How old are they? 17 and girl, you don't know. You don't know. After that, they talk about all their partners. Wait, what's going on with my thing? Oh, after that, they talk about all the partners because they're gawking over the prime minister. Sorry, y'all. They're gawking over the prime minister who would be the best dating him and all of that. Then they talk about the partners and they're like, it's cool because I know some men who don't wear wedding rings. And Angela said, yeah, my husband doesn't wear his wedding ring. I cackled so loud when Porsha said, does she have Tourette's or something? Why she just be blurring out her business? Why should just be burdening on her business like this? So she said, yeah, he does, and he doesn't. And, it does bother me because you do want to be solidified in a marriage and you want to showcase that with your ring or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, look, I'll talk about it. I'll bring it up in our next therapy session. Then the girls do something really nice. They celebrate her anniversary, which made me so upset because he could have done something and he didn't. Every time I go out of town, I send my partner the hotel and the room number just in case they want to send me a little edible arrangement, some flowers or something. Charles could have did something. Did nothing. And now you got these girls celebrating an anniversary with a man for a woman with a man that doesn't even care. Or at least it doesn't seem like that. Anyway. Britt still doesn't feel heard. The conversation doesn't go well. They start to head home. While they're traveling home, Britt says she feels frustrated. She says she never had a problem with Porsha and Shamea, and now they got this new problem with me. They never agreed that they were going to set a level of what volunteering or what donations look like. And so now you're giving me a cap or a budget or a minimum of what it is. That's unfair. And Britt said, you know what? It's the whole donation thing, fine, whatever. Shamea is trying to get her moment. But my problem with Porsha is because you haven't invited me to your home. I got what Britt was saying. Why y'all sitting here talking to me about whether or not I invited you to my home? I ain't been invited to y'all homes. And Phaedra says, well, all this aggression that you're showing is just too much. Look, I'm quick to temper. Pretty much is what Brit needs to say. Is it fair? Is it fun? No. But Kelly's loud as hell. Shamea's sitting under eating on Porsha's cooch. Portia's lying about everything. Drew's lying about everything. Angela don't know where her man is. And I'm hot to temper. I'm quick tempered. We all got stuff. But for some reason, we got to focus on whether or not Brit is quick tempered. And you just giving too much aggression. Y'all girls poke at me. And then as soon as I respond, and at this time, she didn't say nothing about no blocks, no Glocks, no guns, no nothing. I'm responding in kind. I thought we talked about this. Why we bring this up again? Where'd this come from? And you didn't invite me anywhere. And now you want me to, and you're talking over me. I'm on Brit's side. Y'all keep throwing this at me, and y'all don't want me to respond or have any emotion towards it. It's unfair. After that, Phaedra was like, look, sometimes you just need to calm it down, because Phaedra says she feels like Brit is putting herself in these situations, which I don't think is true. And she needs to calm down because she's doing some self-sabotaging. That part is true. And she's creating enemies for no reason. Just start showing grace and, bootlicking, pretty much is what Phaedra said. Then Shamea's husband calls. Apparently something's happening with the baby. They need a new caretaker. She's tossing the baby. To be honest, I was thinking that he was talking about a dog. But he's like, I don't like how she's tossing it around and moving him up and down. Gerald was upset. And she was like, yeah. And he's like, the heat's too it's too cold in the room. She's tossing around. He's not swaddling her. She doesn't have her stuff on. So Shamea gets upset because she feels as if she's not being a good mother because she's caring about herself. But to be honest, to be a good parent and a good partner, you have to make sure your needs are met. And then you can give the rest to them too. So she starts crying because she's like, as soon as I leave, now my daughter gets sick. And that's unfair to me. So now she starts crying. I love how Kelly calls Brit and was like, hey, girl, Shamea just got some really bad news. So we're just going to come in and we're going to just, settle down with her when we get into the house. So as they get into the house, then you get Shamea. She's like, why y'all all being somber? Because they did look like they had just heard even worser news than the news that they heard before. And they all like pray for her, circle around her, start to uplift her and do what they can. So this was you did a good job and you didn't do a good job with Brit. Here's where my frustration comes in. Shamea is the clowny girl. Everything's so fun, and I try to make it light and airy, and I take the conversation off of where it's supposed to be. I laughed at my uncle's funeral because he never went to she do all of that, right? And it seemed like everything was being sad. So Brit, she comes in, she's like, I'm so sorry. We got you, girl. I'm your bet. Now, did she put 20 on 10? 100%. I got you. And no matter what we going through, I know we in the best right now. I'm your sister. I'm always going to be your sister. And I got your back. And I know me and you, we got these problems. I was like, girl, you could have left that part out. But I'm always going to have your back. We're your village. We're always going to be your village. You know what? And if you want to take 1,000,000 shots, I'll take 1,000,000 shots with you. That's what Brit knows of Shamea. And I also felt like she knows how to just uplift the mood like Shamea would do. Shamea would do some funny stuff like this that has nothing to do with anything and bring some stuff up because she doesn't want the atmosphere to be sad. And I felt like that's what Brit did. Girl, I know how you like to make the moves. I'll take some shots with you. Sorry, girl, let's uplift this. I'll take some shots. And you know what? I'm going to show my titties too, girl. I'm going to take my breasts out. Come on, Shamea. Like, let's get out of this funk. I don't think Brit did anything wrong. Outside of making it about herself during those like first couple of seconds, like, oh, girl, I know we're going through something. I'm going through something with you. That matters. That part, you could have left it alone. But also, if Shamea is like, I'm the good time girl, fun time girl, I like to get out of my hands, I want to change the mood, whatever, I feel like Brit did that. And then here's Shamea, what's going on? Girl, the same stuff you would do. I don't know. I know this is gonna be an unpopular opinion video. It has nothing to do with me. Y'all tell me what y'all thought about the episode. I'm giving it 7.5. I thought it was good. I feel like Brit is purposely being misunderstood. I feel like the girls are being unfair. And Shamea, you are doing too much. Too much. Charles, you got some explaining to do. And I think that's it. Y'all, outside of that, if you all make sure you watch us tonight on the Whether You Like It or Not panel is going to be on my channel tonight. So tune in. Let me know how you feel. If you all want to know more about me and everything else I have going on, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter, BusyBlu, no space, no E. You can also find me on Twitch, BusyBlu, where this should definitely be streaming right now. I'm about to go get busy, and you all stay busy. Until next time.